Mentoring missions advocates. This is GlobalCASTresources.com.
Hi, I'm Bevan from GlobalCAST Resources. You may be aware of this, but there has been a dramatic shift in global Christianity. Whereas in the 1900s, the majority of the Christians lived in the West, today the majority of Christians of all sorts are from Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And not only that, but the body of Christ in those places has been maturing and strengthening, and the leaders are rising up and saying, hey, we read the same Bible you read, we have the same mandate you have to go make disciples of all nations. And they're challenging their spheres of influence to rise up and send out missionaries. So in my humble opinion, this is one of the most exciting things happening in the modern mission movement. It is God transforming the mission field into the mission force, rising up new workers from new sending nations. It's no longer, hasn't been for a while, it's no longer the West reaching the rest. It's just about every country being both a sending and receiving missions country. Isn't that amazing? So the Center for the Study of Global Christianity did a research and reported that in 2010, out of the 400,000 missionaries that were sent out internationally, about half of those, nearly half of those, were from the Asia, Africa, and Latin American countries. And so out of the top 10 missionary sending countries, you find Brazil and South Korea and even India. Isn't that amazing? 2 weeks ago, I was traveling through Bangladesh and struck up a conversation with an Indian gentleman, and it turns out he was a missionary to Cambodia and had been effectively, fruitfully working there for over nearly a decade. And at that same time, that same week, Cambodia sent out some of its best leaders to go as missionaries to India and bring the gospel there. So it's slightly confusing, but very cool. Now, with this comes new challenges. This is a season of opportunity, but with every season of opportunity, there are new challenges. And one of those is, how do we fund these new workers from new nations? So I have friends who are representative of many from Asia, Africa, and Latin America who have a very clear calling to go to the unreached. And they have proven character, and they even have training. What they don't have is enough support. What they don't have are senders. And I see this as a missions mobilization challenge, a leadership challenge. We need to rise up leaders who will not only recruit and train and send goers, but will help the senders to get that missions DNA, biblical basis of missions, and the biblical basis of generosity, and get that into the DNA so that the senders will rise up and embrace their role as sending and sustaining these workers that God is calling out from among them. And so I think this is the big need. We could see an explosion of new effective goers if we just had more senders. And the way to have more senders is to have more leaders who are casting vision and building missions DNA into their communities, and so that they are embracing that role of sending and sustaining those God calls out from among them.
Mentoring missions advocates. This is GlobalCASTresources.com.